What do you get when you mix a really fat dude with a dead dude? You get the latest episode of the High Risk Maneuver. So this story takes place in 1994. The Undertaker was feuding with a man by the name of Yokozuna. And it comes to a casket match, the Undertaker's specialty. The point of the match is the first person to get their opponent inside of a casket and close the lid wins the match. You know, Yokozuna wasn't even Japanese. He was like a Samoan, and yet they had him as a sumo wrestler coming out with a Japanese flag. I wonder how that felt. I mean, Undertaker wasn't really dead, I suppose, unless. So they're fighting, they're like doing their thing, and then all of a sudden out comes like every bad guy in the locker room for some reason. I guess they all started like a group chat or something, and they all decided like, fuck the Undertaker, and they're just kicking the shit out of the Undertaker. And they put him in the casket, and they close the lid. They're wheeling the casket down the ramp back to like the backstage area to, I don't know, do God knows what with it. And all of a sudden it starts to smoke, and they all get really spooked out, and they all back off from it, and all of a sudden you see on the big screen, Taker like makes this sort of monologue speech about how he'll never rest in peace and he'll be back, and Yokozuna's gonna pay for this, and then he like disappears. And for weeks following that, there's just no Undertaker. He's MIA. No one has any idea what happened to him or where he went. Until out comes the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, who at this point in his career doesn't even wear like the shiny tuxedo anymore. He's downgraded to a shiny windbreaker now, and he doesn't even wrestle anymore. But out comes the $1 Million Man, who you might remember in 1990 was the person who originally introduced The Undertaker as part of his Survivor Series team. He was the guy who brought The Undertaker into the WWE, and now he's claiming that The Undertaker is coming back and is working for him because he bought him out, and that money talks and ashes walk. And he brings out this dude who's like a President's Choice brand Undertaker, the Kirkland brand Undertaker, the dollar store Undertaker. So he brings out this D-League Undertaker, and this guy starts winning matches, but we're not sure if it's the real deal. I mean, if you have eyeballs, you know it's not, but also they want you to kind of be unsure and believe that Taker would sell out for the cash. So $1 Million Man's got his Taker. Then out comes Paul Bearer, the Undertaker's manager. You know, the human wart who kind of holds the urn and gives the Undertaker his powers. And there's this like moment where we're not sure if he's gonna go back to the urn, and then Ted DiBiase like pulls out a bunch of cash and convinces him to join his side, which like is kind of deep when you think about it. Paul Bearer promises that that's not the real Undertaker, that he's been communicating with the real Taker, and that he's coming back.
Yeah, but it was the fake Taker who took the money.
Yeah.
Is he even dead?
I don't know, I would like to think so.
They got another zombie?
Yeah, they got another dead guy.
Where do you find all these dead people?
Vince McMahon has a dead guy. This builds up week after week all the way until SummerSlam 1994, where the main event is The Undertaker versus The Undertaker. Who's the real one? I guess the winner of the wrestling match will tell us. Now, what's really interesting about this event is the WWE decided to hire a private investigator to look into the case. And who do they hire? None other than Leslie Nielsen, who just so happens to be promoting his new Naked Gun movie. So while we're led to believe that this undead being powered by ashes is fighting a replica of himself powered by money, who do we bring in to crack the case? Leslie Nielsen. And he's making his puns, and he's walking around and being all goofy, which really just did not vibe with the whole angle, really. So the match happens, one guy's wearing purple, one guy's wearing gray, that's like the only way to tell the difference. The real Undertaker, as far as we know, wins the match. He gets him with a tombstone, he puts him into a casket, and he and Paul Bearer wheel the casket backstage, never to be heard from again. And that was the end of the angle. The real Undertaker reclaimed his spot as the one true Taker, and Leslie Nielsen saved the day. What if the fake Undertaker won though, and we just didn't know, and for the last 23 years it's been a different guy, and we've all been had?